Welcome to the Orange Flag Podcast. The final sports car racing of the year happened this week, but there's more to come soon. I'm Austin.
I'm Aries.
I'm Nicole. And I really like it when my favorite drivers are at teams I already support. We already know what happens when my favorite drivers are at teams I don't already support. You know, they end up as guests on the podcast and stuff. But Tower Motorsports is my favorite LMP2 team. They are friends of the show, obviously. And Kyffin Simpson was announced as their, extra driver for Daytona. So I'm very, very excited about that. Longtime listeners will be aware of the fact that I am a big fan of Kyffin. If you're one of the newer listeners that found us through the Kevin Estra interview, we are big IndyCar fans on this show, so as it creeps closer and closer to the IndyCar season, we are going to talk about IndyCar. I am a big Chip Ganassi Racing fan, which is why I struggled with the whole Porsche Penske thing for a while.
What?
Yeah, that got you in a bit of a pickle, some might say.
Nice joke there. Kiffin's going to sue us. But yeah, I am extremely excited about Kyffin being, in fact, back with Tower.
Yes. I will say, they're also somehow involved in your dilemma too, because Tower really went from having drivers associated with Penske connected to them to now having drivers more associated with CGR with them. Because you've got Kyffin back with Tower, right? But Seb Bourdais was with CGR, so they really aren't beating the claims of having the CGR connection in some way with this.
This is what Kyffin was doing at Petit 2 Petits ago, was planning 2026 Daytona with Seb.
Yeah.
That's actually why he was there.
Yeah. It was a big wargaming just really far out in advance.
They made that plan there at that point.
You won't find me complaining.
But yeah, I'm very excited for Kyffin. I think he is a very strong LMP2 driver, so he's a great addition to an already fantastic team.
Yeah, he does. And since I've taken up seized the position of the podcast's official number guy, he's not even going to need to change numbers from his IndyCar. It's number 8.
That's true.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I just made that
Does my hat have an 8 on it? It does! I'm gonna have to bring my hat!
Do it.
Dang it! Sorry, Kevin and Lauren! At some point, I'm gonna be repping my Kyffin Simpson hat.
I didn't even think about that, but that is very
I didn't
true.
either, but this is great. Yeah, I'm going to rep the heck out of this. Maybe his fancy new Sunoco stuff will be out on the market before Daytona.
Who knows? It took so long for his other stuff to end up.
Yeah, what was it? I think it was Road America before I got this hat.
Yeah.
They didn't have it at St. Pete. They didn't have it at the 500. They didn't have it at Detroit. I'm pretty sure I got this at Road America.
Yeah, because I remember for not Petite, St. Pete. They both have P's in them, okay? St. Pete. They had every other CGR hat but his.
Well, that's because the other two hats don't really change.
Yeah, but I'm saying literally they had every other driver's hat, it felt like.
Oh, yeah.
But Prema and Kyffin.
Yeah. Which, finally the hat came out and it's a great hat. So, yes, it's signed. Very excited. Yes, totally going to be ripping Tower by wearing my CGR hat. It's gonna be confusing. People are going to assume that I'm supporting Meyershank and GTP.
Yes.
You know, no, my sweatshirt will.
Yeah.
The sweatshirt has arrived. The Estor and Matt sweatshirt, because in case it's cold at Daytona again, I have plenty of sweatshirts. I have 2 Kevin sweatshirts. And that now I have this sweatshirt, which is also sort of Kevin. Larry, you should release sweatshirts.
He really needs to. He's
Because then I could have more sweatshirts. I like sweatshirts.
I'm just saying, Larry, I will accept sweatshirts, I will accept hoodies, options.
Yeah.
But like there needs to be a long
Jackets
sleeve.
are nice, like a nice little thermal jacket.
Just something.
Yeah. PPM should release more merch too, like maybe a
Yes.
PPM thermal jacket.
Something.
I was gonna say I do love a good hoodie or a sweatshirt, but I don't live in a good place to wear those.
No, you
At
don't.
all.
I mean, Aries, I don't either.
I mean, at least you get a bit of cold. I think.
Eh.
I don't.
Little.
I don't.
Like a week.
In non-freedom units, what is like the coldest it gets in your world, Aries?
My world. Usually it's like 22, 23 during the winter. Right now,
Yeah,
it's
that's hot.
right now we're
Right
like
now.
averaging 30, 31. So whoopee.
That's really
cold.
hot.
It's not cold at all. It's
No, that's not
No.
cold at all.
It's annoyingly hot.
It was under 30 freedom units this morning here in Texas when
Yes.
I was going to go for a run and then opted to do 30 minutes on the assault bike instead.
So
that was
today's
bad.
high in freedom units, because I'm too lazy to do math right now, to be quite honest with you, was 65.
I just know that 30 is 86. We learned that when we did our math after Kevin talked
Yeah.
about 30 degrees at Daytona last year. So when he's saying the high is in the 30s, I know that's approximately the high 80s because
Yeah.
Kevin taught us this
Mine is just
with
like
his weather reports.
mine's like it could be in like the 40s and like I can still be wearing shorts. So it's like not really cold to me. I more so wear jeans because I'm like, yay, I can wear jeans and not be dying for once. But continuing on, I guess, with Daytona, we also got a list of drivers that are doing the double duty in the sense that they're doing WEC and IMSA. And it's really just Brian Herta's team has decided to have 2 drivers that are gonna do double duty. One is doing full time in both, and that's Harry Ticknell. In full time in the LMP2 car, and then full time in the 007 in WEC. So that's gonna be interesting. It's basically another Seb Bourdais situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was really, really holding out hope for something that I knew wasn't gonna happen, but I was really hoping they were gonna pull either Jim or Andre
I really wanted
for
it.
the Daytona spot.
Yes.
Like I really was hoping they were going to. And obviously not happening.
Obviously didn't happen, but I really was like, I need Jam back in IMSA doing something, even if it's just one race. So I was
just
holding
wanted
out for
Andre
it.
there because it allows me to like get a bunch of the stuff that I need to get signed all at once at Daytona rather than having to tote a bunch of crap to Coda that like is already going to be 2/3 of the way signed and getting the remainder of it signed.
Yeah. Mine was just...
Poor Andre. He's gonna have so much PPM stuff to sign.
He is. Mine was more so I just wanted jam at more than one race that I'm going to.
Yeah.
But alas, did not happen. And then the other one
could have gotten food recommendations from Andre, though, if he was there. We need to get food recommendations from Andre at Coda. Like,
yes,
without a doubt, we have
yes,
to.
100%. And then the other one that was not a surprise, really, because of testing and everything. So Parker Thompson is their endurance driver for the LMP2 car, but then is also with WRT in the 69.
That was the surprising thing.
Which I knew that he was going to be in that car because of who the bronze for that car is and the way his conversations about Parker and the fact that he was bringing Parker with him, and that's why Parker left his Lexus kind of connections and everything, was why I wasn't surprised at all that he is in this car.
Yeah, I mean, once Parker left Lexus, it was obvious, but like I'll say 2 months ago, I don't think anybody was saying that he was going to WRT.
Oh no.
Like, that's what I mean by it was a surprise. This wasn't something that I think anybody was talking about 2 months ago.
No. The second, though, the talks of WRT becoming that car becoming the 69, I was like, I can basically tell you who this car is going to be. So I'm not surprised at who that car has at all once the announcement was made. Like, even with it not being the announcement of Parker leaving Lexus, once the 69 was brought into conversations, I was like, I can tell you who it's probably going to be. Yeah. Which, speaking of WEC lineups, we got the Corvette lineups, and they were kind of a surprise, kind of not really a surprise. They were a surprise.
I will say, as soon as the announcement came out, it wasn't a surprise at all situation.
Yes. More so in the fact that, like, we'd been hearing, like, Johnny wasn't coming back to Corvette, and always in the back of my mind, I kind of was like, I'm still not ruling him out as a possibility for Corvette.
I knew he wasn't going to be there as a pro. The only reason he's back is because he retained his silver rating. There was no way they were putting him in that car as the pro, not with the pros they have available.
Exactly.
So,
which is why
for him to retain his silver was massive, and as soon as it came out that he had retained his silver, it was like, oh, he's 100% going to be back with Corvette.
Yeah.
Kick out any other silver you had lined up.
Yeah. Which is why I'm not completely surprised by him. I think what's more surprising is the Team Turkey car, in the sense that so I was reminded of the fact that the bronze they have for Asian Le Mans did announce that he was leaving Corvette. Yeah. So it couldn't actually be that lineup. It is in the fact that it is the rest of that lineup, except for the bronze. But the bronze they got, I don't think anyone would assume that Peter Dempsey would be the bronze, mainly because I don't think anyone would ever think of that name at all. Okay, not who I expected at all.
I thought he was, like, done racing.
That's
to
what
be honest.
I thought. So when he
Aries,
popped up,
was he doing anything that we weren't aware of in your encyclopedic knowledge?
Yeah.
Or did they pull him off the couch?
I think
they pulled
him off the couch, because I haven't heard that in a long time. Like, is he that Peter Dempsey who, like, went from P4 to P1 to Freedom 100?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. That was a long time ago.
Peter Dempsey.
Yeah, so my logical move was, okay, let me go on his social media and see if he's posted anything recently. And, like, all of his recent posts are just, like,
we did not bring up anything to be a drinking game. What's with the drinking?
Yeah.
My throat is dry and I'm in the air conditioning. It's hot
Okay,
outside.
yes,
Okay.
because it's 86 freedom units outside.
Okay.
Flip it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have it on the coldest possible setting.
Very nice, very nice.
As you should. But I was like looking through his social media, and all of his like recent posts are just like family stuff and like not anything racing like recently. So I was like, did we really just take this man off the couch?
I think we did.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and I am so here for it. Like, this went from me not caring about that car at all to being like, I am so here for that car.
But also,
Turkish delight.
did we really like? Did we had no other options except taking this poor man off the couch? Like,
I'm sure he's happy about it.
I'm sure he's happy about it, but I'm just like, was taking this poor man off the couch really our only option? And I guess it was.
Yeah.
He does get a really pretty car though, so like, good for him.
Oh yeah.
I will say though, if they're using the Asian Le Mans race suits, not so great.
No.
They're not good. They need to work on it.
Honestly, though, I will say, with the exception of the Manti cars, no one runs good race suits in Asian Le Mans series.
But
at all whatsoever.
The more reason I bring that up is because the announcement photo, they used those race suits in them, so I'm assuming they are actually using those.
It's just the only pictures they have.
Maybe. Which is what I'm hoping for. But like,
didn't AO use Tandy in a PPM suit for their announcement photo?
No, they photoshopped him into...
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe they shoved him in a AO suit for a photo shoot.
Something. But I'm just saying, I'm really hoping...
I think Porsche used a picture of him in his PPM suit for their AO announcement.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I saw an AO announcement where he had, AO at least photoshopped him, or put him in a race suit. But yeah, Porsche used the PPM picture because they probably just like had it available.
Yeah. I'm really just hoping it's a case of this was the Racing Team Turkey suit that we had at the moment, so we're just going to use that, and that we're working on a better. The
headshots that were there.
Yes, and we're going to get some better ones because.
Better ones.
Better ones, please.
I vote for better ones.
We know how sometimes sports car racing teams are just gonna be like, yeah, we need to make an announcement, so let's just throw this in there, and then it will inexplicably change something before, like when the season starts, and everybody's like, wasn't it supposed to be that way? And then it's like, yeah, well, we changed it.
I mean,
Genesis can't decide what their car wants to look like. They've run like 6 different liveries and 4 different race suits, so...
I was like, also at their most recent test, half the guys are in one race suit, half are in another race suit, so like they even in one session can't decide which ones to use. But also, I think for Team Turkey, they were like, 2 of our drivers are already wearing the Asian Le Mans ones, so just,
use those headshots.
Just get Peter to get into one of them, and...
Or let's just Photoshop Peter into
one of them.
Yeah.
Because it very much so did actually kind of look like they just plopped Peter's head into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And I love a good photoshopping someone's head onto a different race suit.
Oh, I love it. But I was just like, I looked at it and I was like, this looks very photoshopped.
Yeah.
Which, makes sense. Peter Dempsey's kind of been on the couch.
Well, as far as Asian Le Mans series, it happened, so we can talk about it.
Yep. I didn't watch it live, though. I remember saying a few days before the race, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch both of them, because sleep is for the weak. I'm gonna be able to pull through. Guess who slept through both races?
Good job, Aries.
Exactly, myself.
Not me. I stayed up I did fall asleep during one of the virtual safety cars in race 2. But I did, in fact, watch both of them live. They were exciting. There was rain. So shocking
Wow.
So shocking that they're,
I didn't know it rained in
this
Malaysia.
I
Thought
know,
I
right?
thought it was like so dry. They've never had rain there before at
It's
all.
like Qatar, no
Yeah.
rain.
Right?
Um,
Or about
but
rain.
yeah. But yeah, my favorite part of the whole weekend was the fact that anytime they talked about Lauren, they pointed out the fact that he's a Porsche Works driver now. And that brought me so much joy and happiness because that's the like kid that was just getting into like pro level 911 racing that I supported, and now he's, a Porsche Works driver and getting referred to as such in Asian Le Mans series. So that's awesome. Very happy about that. And yeah, Manti did not qualify well with either car because wrong tire selection.
Yes.
Good job, guys. Rare Manti mistake. But it kind of all worked out because they started P18 and 20 and crossed the line P1 and P4, but P2 and P4 after a penalty is still crazy result from 18th and 20th. Like,
Yes.
good job. Typical Manti stuff went with a completely different strategy than the rest of the entire field and jumped everybody.
It
When
worked out.
everybody else had to
Yeah.
splash and go, they didn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were the back of the top 10 or even out of the top 10, like in the
They were out of the top 10 before
Yeah.
the splashes.
And then everybody just started to coming in, and they were like, "Yeah, creeping up the order." And
Yep,
then all of a
there we
sudden,
go.
hello, get speed. Here I am. Move out of my way.
Yeah. Which,
I will say, Chan Guvin was more elbows out in his non-penalized move in the most penalized series out there than Loke was. In that, like,
yes.
Guvin's DTM winning move was more elbows out than what Loke did.
All
Oh, yeah.
It was like barely elbows out. And
It was, yeah,
all
barely.
I'm gonna say is, the saying of like, I support my drivers in their wrongs and in their rights. I'm going to support Loke Kartog in his wrongs in the sense that this is a penalty. But like, was it? They say it was, but like, it was barely elbows out.
No, it was more of a hip check. It was like, woo, move out of my way.
It was barely anything.
Yeah. I mean, like, I am glad that Chan didn't get penalized at the end of the DTM race where he won the championship, but like, per DTM's racing rules, he should have
been.
Yeah. And Asian Le Mans Series has looser racing rules than DTM, and what Loke did was less aggressive than what Chan did.
Also,
so like, what are we doing?
According to Asian Le Mans Series, because they posted like the reason for the penalty, Loke pushed Loke
himself off track.
Yeah, because they very clearly put car 10 pushed car 10. So
yeah,
I think I might have been high on cake or something, but I could have sworn I saw two blue Porsche 911s going at it in the last corner.
And they cloned Loke Hartog. That's actually why in his Instagram post that he made, he was really short in that one photo. That was his clone.
He was growing.
So there was really tall Loke Hartog and then really short Loke Hartog, and that's how they were able to have two car 10s that apparently made contact.
Yeah.
But
yes,
I really
go ahead.
Just something that popped into my mind right now. We were on about Corvette a while ago. Something that I absolutely enjoyed was whenever we had a BMW and a Corvette very close together, they were like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna give Augusto Farfus another hand signal again," and I was like, "Yeah." Next thing we know, we're gonna be like, they're gonna be side by side, and then a hand's gonna fly out and they're gonna be like, "Hey, mate, take this. Bye."
Okay. But you know that man is, like, not gonna live that down. Because it's been him both times.
Both times.
Like,
Yes.
you know it's gonna get brought up.
100%.
Like, he's not
Kind
living it
of
down.
want to, like, get a foam middle finger and get him to sign it.
Yes.
Along with all the other ridiculous stuff. Actually, speaking of Aries, get ready to drink again because I'm going to bring Kevin up for no reason.
Oh, okay,
Speaking
do it.
of ridiculous stuff to get people to sign, I have these tiny Kevin and Larrys. Michael's there too, but they're tiny. If you can't see from the box, I will take out the tiny Kevin. Like, we know that I call this Tiny Scott. This is Tiny Kevin.
Tiny Scott is a giant.
Compared to Tiny Kevin, yeah.
They're 143 scale, so they go with my pink pig that I have, so I can, like, set them up. It comes with a little diagram to show you how to set them up.
Look,
But
sometimes the group
Grumpy
chat
Larry.
together scrolling on eBay is not a good decision because you find things like this and then you have to send them in the group chat and then it leads to you all buying things you shouldn't from eBay.
Higher.
Oddly
Because
specific.
that's what happened. It was
Very
the
odd.
two of
man.
us and Ari sending links in the group chat.
Yes. But no, get back in the plastic. There we go. But yes, this is my fantastic Tiny Kevin and Tiny Larry that I am going to bring to some race, not Daytona. I don't know which race. I'm going to 9 of them, so I'm sure I can figure out one of them to get the 2 of them to sign this thing.
Speaking of, Kevin would not approve of my cup.
Oh, nice.
For those not watching the YouTube, my water cup is a Starbucks cup because it's what I picked from the cupboard.
Nice.
So, but speaking of middle fingers, Genesis posted like their team photo, right? Of their testing. And everyone's like doing peace signs and everything, like normal things. And then there's Danny in the corner. And Danny is giving the camera a middle finger. He's just
Not
continuing.
shocking.
Yeah, he's just continuing the branding.
Yes. He is like completely marketing that. Like, he has a whole shirt line now.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
which, you know what? Get that coin.
Yeah. But I'm done with drinking game and back to Asian Le Mans series. There was more rain in race 2.
Yes, which, speaking of race 2, I don't know what happened in between race 1 and race 2, but Asian Le Mans series decided to geo-block for the US and Canada. So I went to, like, watch it like I normally do without a VPN because I was like, I haven't needed a VPN before for Asian Le Mans series. And it said it was not authorized in my country. So.
See, anytime I watch anything on YouTube, I always throw a VPN on because I never know if it's gonna be geo. So I didn't even know until people started complaining about the fact that it was geo. I was like, it's not geo. Oh yeah, no, I am using a VPN. I believe I had teleported myself to Germany.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were using teleportation.
Yes, I did. I think I had teleported myself to Germany is what I was using.
But I was just like, I haven't had a problem in the past with the Asian Le Mans series, so I don't need to put a VPN on. Something happened between Asian Le Mans series race 1 and 2 that they said, you thought, and I gotcha. So, I don't know what happened. But
I don't know what happened either.
I don't know. They haven't answered.
when you guys were like, "Oh, apparently it's geo-blocked here for whatever reason," my mind went back all the way back to early this year when I was watching NASCAR at Coda, and then the stream randomly cut off, and then I found out they were not broadcasting live for Brazilian viewers for whatever stupid reason. I was like, "Yeah, that's how I felt."
Yeah.
Geo-blocking halfway through a race is insane work. Like,
Yeah.
changing it between race 1 and race 2, okay, whatever. Like, they realized they didn't have the proper broadcast rights or something. Doing it mid-race is insane
is a
work.
choice.
I think
Yeah.
I think the stream is still available, by the way. Like, it's 1 hour 40 something minutes.
Nice.
You can watch portion of NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not all of
part
it,
of
though.
NASCAR.
Just part of it. And not even like the most important part. Because like the end of NASCAR is what you want to watch.
Yeah, the important part, not like the random beginning and middle.
Yeah, because like really the end is when the chaos happens. So like that's what you want. Also obviously because of the finish, but like the chaos of NASCAR is the finishing portion.
It's
I
been
can't English usually.
been established that we like a bit of chaos. Well, speaking of going back to Asia Maman, because this time I derailed the conversation. This is what, the third year in a row. Someone said, I think this is the third year in a row that race 2 at Sepang is it doesn't run to
Shortened.
the full 4
Yeah.
hours because of rain.
Yeah.
Which like isn't surprising.
It's not. They're running a this time of year race in a place that has a monsoon season
Yeah.
in this time of year. It should be expected. I'm a little upset because I really do think that the 87 Origin car could have won that race. Had the race gone they were looking fast there at the end. P3 is fantastic. Long time coming for that car to finally get a podium. So yeah, good job, Lauren, and the rest of the car, but mostly Lauren.
Yeah. Which, speaking of just like one driver that you care about really in a car, Charles Malaysia won both races. I don't care about anyone else in those cars.
No, you love Ferrari. You are a huge AF Corsa fan now. Big Ferrari fan.
I knew this was
huge Ferrari fan.
Way.
No, actually,
Yep.
no.
Massive Ferrari fan.
This is the person who was on FaceTime with my parents in Italy. I really can't English today. Wow.
Huge
On FaceTime
Ferrari
with my
fan.
parents in Italy. On, like, speaker. In Italy. And I said, I hate Ferrari. And the people in the background of that call, very much so did, like, a turn to look at my parents' phone when I said that. It was criminal to say, apparently. But no, I do not like Ferrari. I will say, seeing Malaysia in a race suit with the Italian flag on it was weird.
Just wait until he decides to go to Ferrari in 2 years. Because, him and Fuoco are going to become besties during this teammate-ism they're doing.
What if
and then he's going to go to Ferrari.
What if
you can be a big old Ferrari fan?
What if the two are together for the next Asian Le Mans series in a hypercar?
I never know.
Could happen.
It could happen.
I feel like they're gonna have some grading requirements for the Asian Le Mans Series hypercar situation that will prevent that. Like a single pro driver.
Yeah. But speaking of Asian Le Mans Series and grading, according to Asian Le Mans Series, Klaus Bachler's a bronze.
Yeah, I saw that. Larry, did you hear our segment on coffee? Because I feel like you post coffee a lot, but not like making coffee at home. Usually, like, I rode my bike somewhere and now I'm drinking coffee with other cyclists. But because we are a coffee review podcast now and we review people's espresso machines, it was very important to review Larry's espresso machine, which is a little more techy than
Yes.
either Pippo or Kevin's. They both have very like classic traditional, press one button and extract an espresso shot machines. Larry's has a fancy touchscreen and is a combined grinder and machine all in one.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the touchscreen, when I looked at it, my first thought went, this looks like a Nest thermostat. I don't know why that's where my brain went, but that is where my brain went. And I couldn't unsee it after my brain went Nest thermostat. So yeah, also it just, the touchscreen aspect of it, I was like very confused. I don't know why that confuses me more. Like, it just seems very complicated.
Yeah, it probably does like fancy extra things. And he did in fact also show what coffee he was making, which was a cycling coffee. I went on their website to see whether it may have been ground or whole bean, and it looks like the website primarily sells whole bean, so given that his machine has a built-in coffee grinder, I'm going to assume it was whole bean. Larry, I'm judging you very seriously if you buy coffee grounds and aren't grinding your own beans. Because that's like the one thing me and Aries can claim with our fancy coffee making, is that we do in fact grind our own beans.
Mine is not even fancy. Like, we just have a tiny grinder, coffee grinder that we use it to grind everything.
Let me go grab my coffee grinder, actually.
Oh my God.
Because mine
I will say
is
this.
incredibly not fancy.
I'll say this, I'm not at that step yet.
Yeah, mine is similar.
Very not fancy.
And that's mainly because my household has coffee grounds, so I'm just using what we got.
Yeah, but you should grind your own beans.
Well,
Grind
we'll
it?
get
Tastes
there.
better.
There we go.
Tastes better.
We'll get there.
I mean, if
You know,
you're using a Keurig or you're using a normal drip coffee maker, it really doesn't make a difference, because the quality of coffee you're getting out of either of those methods is not going to be great. You're really going to have to get an espresso machine and learn the art of espresso, but
we'll get
you
there.
also, I don't think, have you come to like the actual flavor of coffee yet? Because I would not recommend you get an espresso machine if you have not come to like the actual flavor of coffee.
So, I don't know if we've ever actually talked. I've always been fine with, shots of espresso. I just never liked, coffee drinks. In the sense of, I can take a shot of espresso and be chill. It was, mixing everything. That was, that's what I didn't like. But we're getting there. It was mainly Starbucks just made everything taste terrible. That I didn't like it. But also, my household only has a Keurig, and I'm telling you that Keurigs just don't make anything taste good. So, yeah. We'll see. We're getting back in the coffee game. So, speaking of coffee, still, I'm gonna bring up Pippo again because Pippo decided to post his setup again. So, maybe he also heard us talk about his setup. I don't know. He just continues posting really visually pleasing content of his coffee setup and his coffee, and I appreciate it. But also, I think it was his grinder? I can't remember. But it also had a touch screen that looked like a Nest thermostat. And I was like, why does everyone have something apparently with a Nest thermostat option? So more reason now that, Kevin, we need your complete coffee setup to see if you too have Nest thermostat portions of your setup.
Kevin's gonna be like, I don't have a Nest thermostat coffee thing, but I do have a Nest thermostat.
I guess you could show us that too? I don't know.
I have a Nest thermostat.
I do not.
Yeah. Here. Since we're just like playing show and tell.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Nest thermostat. That's gonna screw up my house for like at least half an hour since I detached my thermostat from the wall. Watch this episode on YouTube, everybody, because I just had like household appliance show and tell.
Yeah.
But
that's
it's what the off season does to people. Like, we just go completely run off the rails.
Yeah, your brain just starts seeing Nest thermostats in random places.
And then we also start telling everybody to grind their beans.
Yes, we do.
Apparently, I need to start doing that.
Well, you
and we'll upgrade from the Keurig. The Keurig's breaking anyways, so like gotta get something new anyways.
Drag you along at the 3 races you go to Kevin and Nicole Get Coffee? Kevin doesn't know that he's participating in Kevin and Nicole Get Coffee yet, but at Daytona, Sebring, and Petite, it can be Kevin, Nicole, and Austin Get.
Okay. I will say, you did text me and you were like, coffee options around Sebring. And I then said, Nick, I got into coffee like a month ago.
Yes. So I Googled
do not have
coffee options. I in fact have found a good coffee option at every track.
I then said, your option for Daytona is the one that was in the one Daytona line that I told you about because it started
which is
in
convenient because Kevin and Nicole Get Coffee can just be after the autograph session when both Kevin and Nicole will be right by the coffee shop.
Yes, but I was like, I can tell you that one because that one started where I live.
And I got coffee there last year and it was good. So,
but I also literally told you, I have heard this coffee is good when we were in line last time. So,
yeah.
That I at least know. Sebring, I was like, I got nothing.
I found several coffee shops with very good ratings by the little lake by Sebring. Kevin and Nicole could review the coffee options at the track.
I was going to say that is an option.
It would be
Kevin
an interesting spin-off segment.
Coffee. I'm sure that PPM has an espresso machine, so we could just make coffee. I could bring a selection of beans to every race, and Kevin and Nicole Get Coffee could actually be Kevin and Nicole Make Coffee.
I'm gonna assume they have one because, if one of your drivers is sponsored by a coffee, I feel like there's probably some sort of setup.
Probably, yeah. So, maybe Kevin and Nicole Get Coffee is going to be Kevin and Nicole Make Coffee. Yeah. I like how I've just invited myself, into their hospitality or their trailers or whatever to make coffee.
I will say, Matt is only an endurance round driver, but, I feel like that doesn't mean your coffee setup
Larry
just
had
leaves.
An espresso cup in his hand every time we saw him at Coda.
Yeah,
so,
but I'm saying, I don't feel like that
definitely
means
coffee.
I don't feel like that means the espresso setup leaves because, the coffee dude with the sponsorship isn't there. I feel like they've got it all.
I think it's more about Larry's espresso addiction than Matt's coffee sponsorship, quite frankly.
Addiction.
Oh, definitely. But I'm saying you do benefit from the fact that you have Matt's coffee sponsorship.
Yes, definitely. All of PPM seems to, like, not the drivers individually, but the team appears, PPM and Penske appear to have a partnership with
Yes.
Sacred. So, show and tell again.
My
'Cause I
Sacred
got more
is
beans.
downstairs, and quite frankly, I am not
I
running
got more
downstairs.
beans in because I
Hey!
ran out of my last beans. See, 963. But yes, Brazil coffee.
They're not
See,
all
I can
Brazil.
bring this.
Make Kevin sign that.
I can bring this, in fact, to Daytona for Kevin and Nicole make coffee.
I mean, well,
Kevin,
yeah,
you gotta sign the beans now.
sign the
I'm gonna make
beans.
Kevin sign the coffee beans.
Grind the beans. Sign the beans.
Beans.
What else?
But
I don't know.
yes, my wonderful coffee. Not an ad, but everybody go buy 963 from Sacred Coffee.
I
It's
don't
very
even,
good.
fun fact. I don't even know if I can get that here.
I think you can.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what shipping's gonna be like, but
If not, just ask Nasser.
just
Bring
ask
it.
Nasser.
Sure.
I think we
next
might
time
have
he
to ask
comes.
Nasser on his behalf. While I'm doing Kevin and Nicole make coffee, we can invite Nasser and then convince him to bring some coffee to Aries.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just saying, we'll find a way via Nasser if we have to.
He lives in Brazil, you live in Brazil.
Yeah.
Brazil's massive, I understand that. That's like I live in America and Oz lives in America, but we live like 15 hours apart. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I've mentioned this. If you take Alaska out of the equation, Brazil is actually bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Random geography fact.
But look, Aries, this is so
Geography.
you get Nasser to bring you the coffee, right? And then you get to go in his suitcase.
Sure. I knew we
US.
were going to end up with myself stuffed inside his suitcase.
Yes, yeah.
He needs to. I think I've said this once, but he needs to come do something at the nearest Porsche dealership. Like it's literally 10. It's literally like 10 minutes away walking distance.
Nasser, get on that.
Felipe, you heard the man. Do a thing at his nearest Porsche dealership. It's 10 minutes from him. He would love to meet you.
I don't know what kind of event they would have here out of all places, because we have plenty of
Meet
racetracks.
Felipe Nasser event.
But, sure.
He seems to do a lot of things with Porsche in Brazil. So
there's a lot of events.
But yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't drinking game. I was gonna say that was massive drinking game, but it wasn't because we were talking about coffee and we were still talking about coffee.
Yes, yeah.
So,
it was all related. Yeah.
But now, moving on from coffee.
Yes, moving on from coffee to my other topic I talk about a lot, which is supercars, which really is just United is leaving supercars. So the team is now Walkinshaw TWG Racing. So my thought process is United, it seems like, is narrowing down its series that they're focusing in to focus on the hypercar project.
Which makes sense.
It's safe to say that's what they're doing. They pulled out of GT and WEC. This news came out. It's logical, not really a surprise at all. I mean, you're also going out with a bang, and the fact that you won the championship and now you can peace out. So, good for them. But it also does bring up the interesting conversation of Andretti and, when's Andretti gonna be all switching over to TWG.
Soon.
I think it's soon.
When's Wayne Taylor going to switch over to TWG?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think that those two will take a little longer because those names do mean something in their respective sports.
Yeah.
But,
But
it's going to happen. It's
It's
just when,
I was
not
yeah, and
if.
I was like kind of wondering, like maybe in other fields, like I don't know, like supercars, obviously where the association is not as strong, or maybe like Formula E or something. But I don't know, maybe because Wayne Taylor is very close, very like intimately linked with being a sports car team, and
Mm-hmm.
Andretti's obviously a household name in IndyCar. I was wondering, does it make sense for them to like ditch those names completely? Like maybe they'll just take a TWG next to the team name or something instead
I
of
will
ditching it.
say I will say for their FE team specifically, it's still Andretti, but their race suits, if you look at them, big in the middle is TWG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like that slowly starts becoming more of a thing where like you see TWG on stuff more and it's like a slow transition almost.
Yeah, that would make sense. Something that's gonna have TWG a little upset is this update to the super license points in IndyCar because they have done all of this backflip situation to attempt to get Colton Herta a super license for 2 years from now by, taking him out of IndyCar, putting him into F2, and had these super license points existed the whole time, he would be on 39 points. And at a previous point in his career, he already would have been super license eligible. So, with him being, if these points were retroactive, with him being on 39 points, all he would have needed to do is one FP session to be eligible for a super license, which is absolutely something that could have happened. He would have been able to stay in IndyCar this year. Um, wouldn't have needed to go to F2, although there are benefits to going to F2 as far as learning Pirelli tire management, as far as
yeah,
learning some of the tracks
Yeah.
that he's unfamiliar with. But um, this update increases the number of points for positions 2 through 9 pretty significantly. It does not bring it equal with F2, but it does what a lot of people have been demanding, I'll say, and kind of puts IndyCar in its more like, respectable place as far as super license points go.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a big argument, I feel like, for a while of like this needed to happen, so it's nice that it has finally happened. I don't think Colton played an impact in it at all. It is just it's just interesting timing. Like, like it's just it's very interesting to see that be the way that it just happened to play out.
I think that it was a exchange. In exchange for better super license points, the FIA now has a direct hand in the running of IndyCar.
Yeah. I think that is way more of what it is because it's very obvious with the new officiating
yeah.
situation
I
that was announced.
I hadn't actually made the connection when I was like filling up the notes with my beautiful pink text, but now that the two of you have mentioned it, it kind of makes sense that this has happened now. So yeah, obviously, I feel like the indie teams will be after push to Penske in 2024, and obviously what happened at the 500 this year. I feel like the teams will be a bit more, let's say, I'm not sure if relieved is the right word to use here. Some might say this is a bit controversial because we all know how consistent some of the FIA's decisions have not been this year. So yeah, I've seen some people say, oh, they're gonna bring the crap they do in other places to IndyCar now as well. So yeah, this isn't a good move, but I feel like we need to see what happens first.
Everybody who is employed by anything that has the word Penske in it, close your ears now. Anything is better than the people making the officiating decisions being paid by the owner of one of the teams. I don't so much have an issue with Roger owning a team, owning the series, owning IMS, as I do with the fact that all of the organizational infrastructure of IndyCar were Penske employees. Like, that is a on its face conflict of interest. So, I mean, I think this is good. Obviously, like, two of the members were chosen by the teams, but that doesn't mean that they're Penske employees, right? They're people. It is an independent, supposedly, officiating committee, and the FIA person is completely separate from Roger Penske from Penske Entertainment. Now, for all of the new people that know me as a PPM and Kevin fan, not a huge fan of Penske in IndyCar. So yeah, I have opinions and views that maybe won't make sense to people that only know my sports car opinions and views. Not a Penske fan in IndyCar at all. But yeah, I mean it isn't so. I see people online all the time saying that it's problematic for Roger to own the series and own a team, and it's not problematic as long as stuff like this is implemented.
The big problem was that he owned the series, was doing all of the officiating outcomes, basically, was influential in that, in the sense of his employees, and owned a team. That's what the impact was. So this is something that has needed to happen for a while. So it's good that it's finally happened. And I think also at the end of the day, yes, one member is from the FIA, but you have two members that aren't, and it's going to be a collective situation. So it will be interesting to see how the three of them kind of work things out.
Whole lot of change on the horizon. Well, speaking of change, I feel like we've already kind of touched on this, but yeah, we had Kyffin Simpson's paint scheme for the 2026 season announced, and it's very, very bold and distinctive. And yeah, it's basically the Sunoco colors. It's a bit less striking, perhaps, than what he used this year in 2025, but still, it's bound to draw attention.
And it is the way that Scott Dixon runs the PNC Bank car, it is that sort of a deal. It is a multi-year, full season livery.
Yes.
So Ganassi have confirmed that online, that this is a multi-year deal and it is a full season livery. So that's massive. I did a little bit of digging. Sunoco did acquire Parkland. So this is still Kyffin connected. It's not as directly Kyffin connected as Journey or as Ridgeline, but there is still some family connection here.
I will say it is going to be nice to have that livery running, especially for the races where there's overlap with NASCAR. Just because, that is really associated with NASCAR, so it will be nice to have that kind of entwine, especially for, St. Pete and Phoenix, because St. Pete has trucks. Phoenix has the, complete crossover. So that will be nice to see. It'd be nice if they like did a NASCAR in a similar livery, but sadly, we don't have CGR anymore in NASCAR. So like there's no good crossover team for it.
What's funny to me is, if I'm not missing a livery somewhere in here, the last like Sunoco livery before Kyffin was a Penske livery.
I believe so. But I
Yeah.
will say, like, if
Maybe full time. I think full. You mean like a full season livery?
Like a full season
Yeah.
Sunoco livery.
I think so.
Yeah. Was a Penske full season livery.
yeah, I was gonna say your driver that you could put it with, who was a CGR driver, would be Kyle Larson, but you're not getting that guy out of a cup car that's not Hendrick branded, so there's no like good crossover of even a driver who was with CGR in NASCAR. So, but it would be nice if there was just like something like that too, just because it's very pretty. RLL Rahal Letterman Lanigan is involved in another lawsuit. I feel like they keep getting involved in lawsuits, and it's different sides of the team. And this time, it is the Indycar side, and it's them that started the lawsuit, it seems like. And it's basically one of their sponsors like didn't actually pay what they were supposed to.
Oh.
Is what it seems like. So, which I feel like this has happened before to another team. So,
Yeah.
this just seems to be a recurring problem somehow. But literally, when I saw RLL lawsuit, I was like, not again.
They have been in a lot of legal trouble in the past year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't surprising to me, I guess, but it was surprising that it was them being the ones not in the legal trouble. Somebody else was in legal trouble.
Yeah.
And they were the victims of it rather than the perpetrators of the legal trouble.
For once, they got to sue someone instead of being sued.
Makes for a nice change.
Although this time there was no, like, FBI connection or anything. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Orange Flag Pod. On Twitter, Nicole is at Nicole on Racing, Austin is at Hedrick Claren, and Aries is at Aries_Alpenglow.
Stay orange.